To 12 on health, we now have help for people in southwestern Connecticut who have autism. Experts say it takes a lot of work, but many people on the autism spectrum can learn to communicate with sign language or words. We witnessed this for ourselves recently at Montano Assistive Technology Center in Bridgeport.
He's locked inside of himself. His language is locked. He can't express what he truly feels.
How can you help an autistic teen who's agitated?
Sit down.
Experts say the secret lies in sensory integration therapy.
Calming strategies to get him calm so that he is ready to learn. What the premise is of the Montano Center is that we treat people with their sensory integration problems.
To help them focus.
Baseball. 1, 2.
We always want to perfect his articulation. We want everyone to understand him. When he talks, he creates an entire scene on the wall with his voice, so he sees the outcome.
And learns on his terms.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Why do I give you a point?
The Figgle Wiggle.
Just like every other kid, Patrick likes to play ball. This is a virtual game of basketball.
Nice job, I catch it.
Game-changing therapy for a young man whose language has been locked up all his life.
Patrick did it. He is our superstar. Yes!
He did it, Al.
Now, if you're blown away by that woman's energy, you're not the only one. She runs the show at Montano Assistive Technology Center. And Phoebe Tucker is here now to share more techniques on how to reach people with autism. Tucker is the director of the Montano Assistive Technology Center, which is a division of the United Cerebral Palsy Association of Southern Connecticut. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Seeing you in action, oh, hats off to you. Your patience. It is unbelievable.
The children and the adults just become part of our family.
They give you that energy?
Yes, and what they do, you see what comes out of it. I mean, that's what the exciting thing. You see children and adults do things that they have never done in their lives, and that's just what turns everybody on.
That's an incredible product to make in a day's work.
Yes,
Oh.
it just invigorates everyone.
Now, Patrick, who we just saw, has a classic case of autism?
It's called classic autism. There's different areas. Autism is a spectrum. You have individuals that are in the upper levels, and then you have those that are in the lower levels of the spectrum. Really, 80% of the population are what we call classic autistic individuals. These are individuals that have difficulty communicating, and many times these individuals are nonverbal. And these are the people that we specialize with.
Not everyone uses words like Patrick does.
No, Patrick is really quite good.
Have you ever had a case where they were using no words and you got a word out of them?
We had a situation where someone was in the swing. He was actually a 7-year-old boy, and he had never spoken out of his home. And he rocked back and forth, and his mother and myself did some strategy of holding him in air, and we waited. And he started saying a K sound, and then he started saying words, and it was like we were all just jumping up and down.
Gosh.
So it was just
that is
exciting.
The big payoff.
Yes.
All right, you brought some examples of what you use on with some of the kids, older and younger. This one helps them communicate with the pictures.
This is called what we call a static display. In other words, we have higher level ones that are like a computer. This is a lower functioning one. But they can do and make simple sentences.
I met with Miss Phoebe.
And they can kind of get their ideas across. Many times individuals with autism have difficulty initiation, and that's really the core of it. They can't get the words out. They can't touch the screen. They can't do some of these others. And the technology opens that avenue for them to initiate, even if it's a touch.
That's got to be such a big part of the frustration.
Yes.
And this one takes it back, just simply getting them to point out what they want and need, and they learn to put a finger, press a button, and what does that do for them?
It's single finger access. A child with autism has a difficult time taking a test because they don't know to touch the picture, or they don't know to touch the computer screen or whatever. But by doing this, it's a direct access, so they get an outcome, immediate outcome from their pointed index finger.
And not only do they feel that they're pressing the button, but They're hearing it.
They're hearing it, they're seeing it, they're feeling it with the fan. So again, multisensory. The more that you stimulate all the senses, the more you get learning in these children.
You said they love to use a mirror, which is so funny. I mean, kids always love to, and they play in the mirror, but autistic children really benefit.
Yes, especially when they have one right in front of them. And we wear mirrors around our neck so they can see, especially when you have a nonverbal child and you're specifically teaching them a sound. We do what we call prompt, where you put your hands on specific areas to elicit a specific sound like f, like F, and then they see it. So they're hearing it, they're feeling it.
Interesting.
And then we try to, with other devices, to augment or to make it louder so it makes more of an impression on the brain. So when they're talking into it, they hear a louder for fun or something like that, so that they can, have those neurons in the brain clicking to make learning occur.
And I'll tell you, when we were there, we witnessed how they feel proud.
They do.
When they get it right or they figure it out, just like any kid or adult.
Just in our social groups, we all clap. They get points for every time they come up with a new idea. And then at the end, we count all our points, and then we get the top score, the next top score. Yeah. Everyone's a top scorer at our center.
Oh, no kidding.
So it gets very exciting in that way.
Phoebe Tucker, thank you so much. You are wonderful. Major health